Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Beanie 101 and I'm here with some more NHL 18 Hockey Ultimate Team. As always, if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down and consider subscribing if you want some more Hockey Ultimate Team content. But today I'm going to talk about what has moved and shaken the Ultimate Team market more than anything else so far this year, and that is because EA Sports have released these ice players onto the market. For those of you that don't know what ice players are, the top 100 players in the NHL, and there's some from every single team, have received quite a significant upgrade in some cases. And they've got extra synergies as well. But what has really shaken the market is how easy these ice players are to obtain. Firstly, they're in packs, so you could get lucky and you could get them in packs. But there are ice sets now on the market. Every single team has a number of players that have got these ice upgrades. And all you need is the base card and a gold collectible. That's it. One gold collectible, one base card, and you could potentially get a huge upgrade on these players. I want to give you my opinion on what I think this means for the HUT market. For a start, I think these things are far too easy to obtain. A gold collectible, I mean, I could understand why they've done it. It does mean that the price of these gold collectibles has gone up massively. I think when this ice set first came out, you couldn't buy a gold collectible for under 70k. They've come down now, but you're still looking at 35k to buy a gold collectible, where they were going for maybe 8-9k if you were lucky before this set was available. It's also had a knock-on effect to the silver and the bronze collectibles as well, because obviously you can trade those in to create a gold collectible. But yeah, if you've been hoarding players, if you've been building up a collection, if you've been keeping your collectibles, then now is a time to sell your gold collectibles if you have a load of them hoarded, because you can make a huge amount of coins. And if you do have some players that you want to use for this ice set, then by all means go for it. Everybody is going to have such a stacked team as a result of this. If you've been playing Ultimate Team since the beginning of the year, no doubt you've got a good number of these players that have received upgrades, and you should have a handful of gold collectibles. Unfortunately, myself, I only had one or two, but I have decided to use the majority of those rather than cash them in because of the type of players that I can get. Take, for example, Johnny Hockey. Johnny Gaudreau has gone from an 86 overall player. This is a player that you could pick up for maybe 2 or 3k. And he's got an upgrade to make him a 93 overall player. And let's just take a look at his cards. Look at it. Look at the attributes. He's got top speed, top acceleration, agility. His hands are, the best hands in the game. 99 for deking, passing, hand-eye. 99 for discipline. 99 for offensive awareness. It's an outrageous card. And it has 2 synergies as well. This is a card that you can get relatively cheap if you've been just keeping some of your collectibles and some of your players. And everybody is going to have now teams that are full of 90+ overall players. So the thing that I'm disappointed about is the fact that this means that some of the special cards that are out on the market, things like Team of the Weeks, they're almost useless now. Unless you pick up a real high-end player that's come out of a Team of a Week. Milestones. There are far better players on the market. The only players that and the only cards that are going to hold their value that much more are the evolution cards, and some of the evolution players that haven't received an upgrade so far this year. Players like Zach Werenski, Richard Raquel, Gostisbehere. Those guys have all had a huge upgrade. Well, 4, 5, 6 points on their overall in terms of an upgrade. Gostisbehere is now an 89 overall. Werenski's now an 88. Players like Vasilevsky, who didn't even have an evolution card, he was an 83 overall goalie. He's now 91 overall if you use a gold collectible on him. It's a way, I suppose, of rewarding players that have invested time in HUT so far this year and have a decent collection of cards. You can trade these in relatively easily and you're going to have a stacked team. It levels the playing field for the online game, so anyone who has been using a sort of pay-to-win method and investing real money on buying packs early on the year to get an absolutely stacked team, this levels things right up. So that is great. That is fantastic. The fact that collectibles are now worth more and just gold players are worth more. People have not really had any need to buy anybody for weeks because there's not why would you still have just standard gold players, rare gold players in your team? There's no need. One thing that it has had an impact on is the legends and the flashbacks. They also are not going to have any value much at all anymore. And I can't help but think that, you know, we're going to be running around with teams that are 90 plus overall, and it's only December. It's not even Christmas yet. I feel sorry for, in some way, for the people that are getting the game over Christmas. They're going to jump into Ultimate Team and play some games online, and they're going to be facing teams. It was bad anyway, right? Don't get me wrong. The market was in such a state that you could still pick up 88, 89, 90 overall players for next to no coins. But now you're going to be facing teams with 93, 94 overall players all across the board. And that is ridiculous if you're getting the game for Christmas. You're going to have to jump into this gift of giving set and hope that the community lights up enough lights that gives you loads of gold collectibles and a decent enough number of players so you too can then go in and utilize this ice set to get a decent number of high quality players. But what do you guys think of this ice set? I think it's crazy. It's really shaken things up. Part of me is excited because I'm getting to use 93, 94 overall players, and I don't play the game online a huge amount. You know, I play the market a little bit, but I don't I don't play like thousands and thousands of games every year. So the likelihood of me ever having a team that's stacked full of 90 plus overall players is slim. Whereas now I've got probably one of the better teams that I've ever had in Ultimate Team, and we're only in early December, so that to me is mind-blowing. What do you think of the way that it's impacted the market? What are you going to do with your coins? Are you going to be selling any gold collectibles that you have, or are you going to be using them to upgrade to some of the players that have received huge boosts? Players like Stamkos and Kucherov are now 94 overall. McKinnon's now a 91. You've got players like, obviously, Johnny Hockey we've already spoken about as a 93 overall, but players like Blake Wheeler as well, huge, great big upgrades. Brock Besser on the Vancouver Canucks has gone up, but I think his overall's gone up by about 7 or 8. So really, really good options for people who want to invest in some of these players. But how has it impacted your team? What are you now going to be doing with your coins? What are you now going to be doing with your collectibles? And do you think this is actually good for the Ultimate Team community? I'd love to know your thoughts below, but as always, I've been the Beanie 101. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like that video if you've enjoyed this content. It helps other people find my stuff. Feel free to share it amongst your friends as well, and I'll catch you again in the next video.